Hello, and welcome to another edition of One Bad Veggies Root Beer Review, where in this review, we travel to the Great White North to see what their root beer is all about. And we'll see if I'm sorry for the experience. So in this review, we'll be reviewing Harvey and Vern's root beer, which I found while I was on a trip to Canada. Looked it up when I got back home and noticed that it is a Canadian product. So it's actually something you can't pick up. Well, maybe you can pick it up here in the States. I'm not sure. But as far as I can tell, it's a Canadian product and it's just sold in Canada. And I'm just going to go with that. It's I found it at a grocery store there. And funny enough, I didn't see it at any of the other grocery stores. I went to maybe like three grocery stores. I don't remember. Anyway. But they were selling it at one of them, and like any root beer that I see that I've never seen before, I have to grab it as fast as I can and bring it back across the border so I can give it a good review. So let's go ahead and get into the ingredients. As we all know, Canadians take pride in the fact that they use better ingredients in their food and stuff like that. But as you can see at the ingredients right here, it's the same as every other root beer that mostly comes in a bottle for the most part. Yes, it's using pure cane sugar, which isn't strange, but they're not using high fructose corn syrup, which is more common in American root beers, but still not really common in what I review, which is kind of more premium selections. Usually even your well-known brands and stuff like that that'll put high fructose corn syrup in a can usually put sugar, real sugar, in their bottled versions of it. So as you can see here, very simple bottle here, Harvey and Vern's, and you can tell it's Canadian because there's French words on it. So that's fancy. It almost makes it give an air of fanciness. Although if that were true, then basically like any time that you look at any label in Canada, I guess technically you would think it's fancy because they all have French words. I'm being a dumb American right now, so deal with it. So let's go ahead and crack it open and get a little. Now we all remember what happened last time, right? It exploded on me. I have a feeling that this one's going to explode as well. Well, let's go ahead and not do that. Harvey and Vern, let's be nice. We all like each other here. Okay. No, it didn't explode. We're good. All right, let's sniff this. Ooh. Now here's the thing. It's probably been, well, I won't say it's been since the last time that I made a video that I've had a root beer. Hold on, let me take another sniff. I'm not going to say it's been since the last time. You know what? I smell a lot of things. This is actually pretty complex. But it's been a while since I've actually had a root beer. I haven't really been drinking soda all that much in general. So this is delightful. Maybe my olfactory senses are undulled and unspoiled for new exciting adventures in root beer or something. I don't know. So yeah, it's mostly sweet. You can definitely get a back end of anise and stuff like that, but it's not on the front end. It's all on the back end. Hopefully when we go ahead and take a drink of it, that's not how it turns out too, because I really don't like it when the aftertaste isn't sweet. If it's got a licorice aftertaste, that's not always my favorite thing in the world, but I will say that when you first open the bottle, it really does kind of hit you in the face with a lot of sweetness and a lot of vanilla, and not, you know, like you saw my expression. I was very surprised and excited in a lot of ways. So let's go ahead and get into the pour and foam, and let's see how it measures up. And of course, we've got our trusty mug here to go ahead and check out the pour and foam on this one. That is an icy frosty mug, by the way. That has been sitting in the freezer since the last time I reviewed. And that's been a while, so let's go ahead and... Okay. Look at that. It's always a good sign when you can't fill the mug because there's so much foam. Look at that. That's a good foam, sir and ma'am and everyone in between. Go ahead and finish filling this up. And there we go. And there's plenty left to go ahead and do a little taste test of that. So let's go ahead and get our foam on. Almost kind of like, no, it's dissipating pretty fast. There's still quite a bit left in there, but you can't really get like a sip of it because it's very like thin bubbles, but you know, it stays here for quite a bit. Very photogenic, which is important. That's the point in my mind of having a nice tall frothy head on a root beer, is that it looks nice, right? And I will say that it has almost like I was about to say, almost like a fruity texture to it. It's I'm gonna go ahead and assume that has to do with the licorice flavors and stuff like that. But I think there's so much sweetness to it that it doesn't taste as funky as normally something like that would be to me. So so far I'm pretty impressed. So good job so far. We'll see. All right, let's go ahead and taste this Canadian delight, Tim Hortons. So I'll say that this root beer, it falls in line with a lot of root beers that I would normally call like natural tasting or something. There's a few root beers I've had in my life where they kind of tout on the bottle about how they taste more kind of like what root beers used to taste like and stuff like that. Because the thing is that a lot of craft root beers and stuff that comes in a bottle like that usually is trying to do something that's either like, how do I put it, like a better version of the normal thing, or what you think root beer tastes like, or they're doing some kind of twist on that where they're adding different flavors to that. But there are a few that are more like, no, we want to kind of try to get the root beer to taste kind of like what root beer tasted like when it was kind of invented. This definitely has the flavor of something like that. It doesn't necessarily taste exactly like what you would think. Like, it tastes like a root beer, but it has these other, I guess the right term is rooty flavors, because it is almost kind of like earthy or fruity, I guess is another word I could use for it. It's very interesting. I don't usually necessarily like, they're not my favorites, but you know what? Before I start talking about that, let's go ahead and wait before we do that and finish as we go into the overall letter grade. So what are we gonna give this one? It's really a hard toss-up. The aftertaste was not unpleasant. It was actually pretty good. Mostly just sugary. I wish there was a little bit, you know how I am. Just I love vanilla, but nothing like that. Just kind of the flavor of the root beer is long lasting. That's what the aftertaste is. It's just the flavor of the root beer. Again, like I said before, it's hard for me to grade this because it's not bad. It's not my favorite, but which, I mean, I guess technically that just makes it a C. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a C because it's, it's right in the middle. And it's not even in the middle because it's not good, because it is good. It's just in the middle for me, right? because that's mostly what this is all about. Just what do I think of something? So in this case, yeah, I'm giving it a C because it doesn't really do anything wrong, but it doesn't exceed my expectations. And like I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of these more rooty fruity kind of flavored root beers that are kind of trying to taste like older style root beer. However, I mean, it says right on the bottle here, it says, you know, oldie fashioned. So, you know, which it lives up to that. That's 100% for sure. It's definitely unique. So, and I mean, that's something definitely to give it credit for. If you're going to go to the store or something and they have A&W and Barks and whatever else they have sitting up there, this is something different from that. And so that's something to take into account too, is that if you're just looking for root beer, it is a root beer. Just realize that it's going to have a different flavor texture to it, and you may like that more than me. But again, so I'm giving it a C. Sorry. So as for other things going on with me, right now I'm not really doing a whole lot. As you can tell by the lack of updates. However, you know, I had some time today and I figured, why not do a root beer review? It's been a while. As for streams and stuff like that, I am still doing Gunpla streams on Twitch occasionally. I haven't really done any video game streaming lately just because, I don't know, just because I'm a shy boy. And but I have been doing Gunpla streams. I have not been saving them to YouTube anymore because, frankly, I don't really like the quality of the videos and stuff like that. They're basically just 3 hours of silence and sometimes talking to people in the chat and stuff like that. But if I really wanted something like that, I'd probably edit it down to something more digestible than just 3 hour long, you know, sessions. So that's probably going to be the end of the Gunpla VODs. But if you go to the stream, which is Twitch TV One Bad Veggie, and subscribe or follow, yes, you follow on Twitch, you can go ahead and get notifications to know when I'm doing those, and then you can come and talk to me when those are on. And I will be happy to geek out with you for whatever you want to geek out about, because clearly I have a lot of interests in a lot of different things. And hopefully I can start doing some more video game streams. I just have to build up my confidence for that. So anyway, that's it for now, and I hope you had a good time.